Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Alistair, Master of Gentleman's Combat, maker of fine quality mixed martial arts and professional wrestling gear, and I have seen something on the internet that has inspired within me an old head rant. Recently, there have been two NXT debutantes. They are Lizzie Rain and Will Cruz. And never before in, my time as I'd say never before in my time as a fan of wrestling, which is a consumer of wrestling content. Content. Consumer. Watcher of wrestling. A person who, either out of professional curiosity, an effort to make myself better as one, or through sheer interest, have I encountered this level of, I think the internet wants me to like these people. This comes up every now and again. I know that, in Australian wrestling a little while ago, just everyone just talked about how much they like Bobby Bishop for a week on Twitter for no reason. Why? No idea. I haven't had anything to do with the man, but everybody who'd been around wrestling for a period of time just all spontaneously decided that was what they were going to do. Whatever. Anyway. Lizzie Rangal, she's got a modified Enzui-Geri as a finish. Not Enziguri, that's a mispronunciation, it's an Enzui-Geri. So she steps up, turns a hip nicely over, it's very pretty. It turns a hip over very nicely, lands a high kick in this modified Enzui-Geri, person goes down, and then she pins them. And looking at her wrestle, it brings to mind my grand unifying theory of professional wrestling. I developed this leading into running a few classes at Wrestle Strong Dojo while the promoter and the head coach were away on a tour of their sort of weekly head tour of Japan, not weekly, yearly tour of Japan. They asked me to run some, I just offered to run some classes on the night that none were being run, and they said yes, and so I formulated this idea to convey the philosophy of everything that I was teaching the person in a day of that class, which was, I think wrestling should aim for some level of verisimilitude, whether that is verisimilitude to an actual match, or at least an adherence to the elevated reality within professional wrestling that gets created, that Irish whipping someone makes them bounce off the ropes and come back. We build that expectation in the audience. The audience expects that to occur. All right, if I whip someone, they come back. Everything runs within those rules. At least I think that's how it should be done. And in order to build that verisimilitude, from either a fully American-style professional wrestling or shoot style, we can work from two ends of the scale. One end of the scale is reality. We can take reality and we can add showmanship and entertainment to reality, sliding it further away from that end of the scale to create a compelling product, something that's fun to watch. Because if we just go into pure reality and we have no showmanship whatsoever and we only focus on winning, we end up with boring shit like the Olympic gold medal matches for judo, which get won by guys trying to lame Shidos out of their opponent. That sucks. That sucks to watch. There is no showmanship in that. It is purely aiming to win by gaming the rules. That sucks. No fun to watch. You get fighters like that. Not that he never had any finishes in his career, but a guy that really comes to mind when you think of laming a win out is Hikaru Arona. That guy would take down and do nothing until he got stood up, and then take down again and do nothing until he got stood up, or just enough to stay on top. And he didn't give a fuck whether or not he won. You didn't care about the fact that people paid to watch that. He only cared about winning, and I don't like that. While within the realm of shoot, there exists people who are showmen. Easy example is Max Holloway. An easy example of a showman in the shoot realm is him, because he does that thing where he points to the ground, regardless of how far ahead he is on the fucking scales. He has that confidence in his ability that he goes, all right, you and me, I'm giving you a chance right now in the final 10 seconds to knock me out, and I still think I'm going to win. That's exciting to watch, because it resets it. It's like pistols at dawn. He might still have the advantage. He's still got 25 minutes of beating the piss out of the other guy, so that he's gassed and can't throw as hard as he can. But it can still backfire on him. It backfired on the Korean Zombie. He got fucking spinning back elbowed by Yair Rodriguez, fresh from his fucking like 18 months on the run from the fucking cartels or whatever was going on there. Wasn't good for him. But yeah, like that can still backfire. It's still exciting to watch. We're still within the realm of shoot. A step further back from that is a shoot style match. For example, like Dick Vrij, there's only so much Dick Vrij was willing to fake in a match. He might lay down for you at the end there, but he's still going to try and concuss you on the way through. Like, no one took him aside and said, Dick, you need to lighten up on anybody except for, like, Akira Maeda. You see him with, like, even his own teammate, Tom von Morik, just fucking just shoot head kicks him at the end of the match for no fucking reason. It's really bad. It's fucking great to watch, but it's bad for Tom von Morik's brain. Not that needed to be worried about for much longer. He got shot to death by a pimp in an argument over a woman. That's how he died. He was the first of the Dolman Sport guys for their life as bouncers and fucking whatever, like underworld figures in Amsterdam to catch up on, as far as I know. Anyway, that's the end of the scale that I like is where they take reality and add a small amount of performance to it. Not even a small amount, they give a bigger amount. On the other end of the scale, where they take pure performance, pure artifice, and then add reality to it, I can think of like the King's Road style, All Japan in the 90s and early Noah, where like fucking not good for people's brains. Everyone's getting backdropped like right on their necks, and just destruction of people's lives and ability to walk in the future. Because while they're still doing it within a professional wrestling match, they're just like, I can fall this way. I should probably 9 times out of 10 I'll be okay if I fall this way rather than 10 times out of 10. So let's just do it a little bit more dangerously for the increase of the entertainment of the audience, the increase of reality, the increase of verisimilitude. At the other end of that scale, where you're not taking performance and adding reality, rather than bringing it back down this way, there is what I'm going to call Ospreyism, where you take performance and you add more performance in the hope of reaching reality. This is where the 1-2 kick out face comes from, where in, chasing excitement of the audience, you go further down into this realm of performance where everything that you do is performed. The face that you make, the way that you throw a move, everything is thought about and workshopped in the way that, in their mind, makes the best, most exciting professional wrestling product. Even like a line, rather than just going, all right, that guy's coming back, I'm going to throw the line. The way that they'll wind it up is added. A guy who does this, I still, like watching, is Keiji Muto. The Great Muta. Like, watching him throw, like, he doesn't jump into, like, an elbow drop on a person. He, like, does this snap down, but there's, like, a double whip to his body as he snaps down into that elbow drop. And even though he's doing that, it still lands in the right place. He's not too busy doing that to put it in the right place. That end of professional wrestling, I don't like. It's popular currently. It may remain popular. It may be what professional wrestling becomes. But after that, after performance, there becomes another level, which is where I don't want to dunk on the Lizzie Rain girl. But I'm allowed to because I don't like a performance. Another guy that reminds me of this is Nick Wayne and the Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher match. This reminds me of. This wasn't adding performance to reach reality. To me, this looked like adding performance so that people would see that you were performing and go, he's really thinking about that. Who else? Fucking Austin Theory. The way he sells a stunner is not it's not verisimilitude. That's him going, I want you to tell me that I look cool taking that stunner. Lizzie Rain in her match at no point was in the match, from what I've seen of it. All the highlights that I've seen of it, she's looking in the mirror. To quote, I'm going to insert the bit from fucking Christopher Lee here.
So many of them are stars before they even make their first film, and you know when you look at them on the screen that they are looking in a mirror, absolutely in a mirror, and it's beginning of a lifelong romance, and their hand is out underneath the mirror, out of shot, because that's what they want, rich, to be rich and famous immediately, which is terribly sad and extremely dangerous.
Yeah, we've hopefully inserted that. Christopher Lee, you know, Saruman, fucking fucking Dracula, classically trained Shakespearean actor, talks about young actors who aren't in the scene. They're obviously very talented, they're obviously very good, they're obviously very compelling to watch, but they're not in what they're doing. They are merely performing, and they are looking straight back at that performance and going, damn, fuck, do I look good? And you gotta have something after that. Will Ospreay has freakish athleticism after that. I don't know what some of these other guys have. You mean at this level of fucking professional wrestling, you fucking insane gymnasts and whatever else. They're good at it, that's fine. They're good at doing moves, but I don't believe that they are in the match that they're doing. They are they're tailoring their performance to being picked apart by some cunt on Twitter. Going, look at these subtle details that such and such is adding into this match. Not for the quality of the match that it's occurring, but so that they are seen to be adding this subtle detail. Or at least that's how it feels, because it's a simulacrum. It's gone beyond attempting verisimilitude. It's gone beyond attempting to recreate combat sport or the most entertaining combat sport. It's gone into recreating a good wrestling match, into recreating the best performance in a good wrestling match, into performing to be told you're having a good performance. It's probably a very cunty way to put it, but that's how I fucking feel. Is this a popular opinion? Fuck no. I'm going to have 200 views on this video at best. But it is my opinion. And the thing that got me thinking about this, apart from the gal with the very nice Enzui, is the end of Bloodsport. Now, I'm not going to put this in this, the end of Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. Not going to put it in this video, but I am going to reference my grand unifying theory of professional wrestling as to why certain Bloodsport matches work for a guy like me and why certain Bloodsport matches really don't fucking work for a guy like me. Yeah, I can't speak to you the respect I have of Josh Barnett, and how sad I am to see that show go, but, I'm some cunt on the internet. I have to critique everything. Alright, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed that one, just a pointless rant in the middle of the night, rather than you doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is finishing these kick pads, and I shall see you all next time.